My peoples! Good morning and happy Monday. It is Papaziti here. I hope nobody out there has a case of the Mondays because that would be bad and make me sad. And I'm rhyming. But we've got some 6v6 TDM. Yeah, playing a little TDM. Thought I'd mix it up a little bit for you. So let's just get right into it. We're talking about Boston today, and I waited a week before having a conversation about it because I wanted to, for one, kind of let my emotions calm down and simmer down now and not have a raw emotional conversation. And I wanted the investigation to play itself out a little bit more just to see where we are. And here is where we are at the time of recording this. We've got suspect number one, he's dead. His younger brother, suspect number two, Johar, in serious but stable condition at a local hospital. He's on a ventilator. He's heavily sedated. He is being questioned every few hours by an FBI investigation team or an FBI interrogation team to figure out whether or not there's any immediate, imminent danger to more Americans. So that's kind of where we are in everything. Johar is able to respond to these questions with either a nod or a shake of the head, and that's really about it. He's not able to talk. He's got a neck wound, so he's not talking. But the FBI interrogation team has started their work, which kind of leads to one of the things that's going on right now. We as a society, after something like this happens, or after really any kind of tragedy where there's loss of life, we start with the hand wringing, and then the head scratching, and then the finger pointing. And that's kind of where we are right now with one aspect of this. And oh man, I was so close to the VSAT. With one aspect of what's going on now is the finger pointing. And what's in question is whether or not the FBI dropped the ball on the older brother. And how that all played out and how this guy was even on the FBI's radar 2 years ago needs to be, I think, just talked about to kind of figure out whether or not the FBI should shoulder any blame for this. So back in 2011, the FBI got a request or, kind of a heads up from the Russian government. And as a side note, the FBI gets lots of these types of requests and heads ups from various countries, obviously all over the world. So this is not anything that was super, special about this guy in the first place. So the FBI did follow up with him. They interviewed suspect one, the older brother. They found no ties to any groups or known groups or anything like that. And so basically they just closed the file on him. And that was that. I don't think they should shoulder any of the blame for that. This guy, wasn't a part of anything. And it's not contrary to what a lot of people on the internet and a lot of people on YouTube believe. They believe that the U.S. government has the capabilities to just, if they, on a whim almost, want to monitor someone 24/7, they will. That would be a tremendous waste of resources. The U.S. government is not that well funded where they can just keep a case open that they deem this guy is not going to be a threat. So lay off the FBI. To put it in context some more, it's not like we're on real good terms with Russia now, especially, and we weren't really back in 2011 either. So in law enforcement, there's not a lot of cooperation between the FBI and the Russian equivalent. So that was that. They interviewed him. They didn't see anything weird going on, and they closed the case on him. And then 2 years later, he and his younger brother pulled this off. I think really the only way that you could have prevented this from happening is if somebody in their family or a friend of especially the older brother had spoken out and said, brought something to the FBI's attention about just a change of behavior, the videos that they were posting, something that would have tipped a family member off, and that would have been taken with a lot more credibility than some Russian agency asking them to check up on a guy with Chechnyan roots that maybe or may not be involved with some sort of Chechen terrorist group. So I think that's really the only way that that could have been prevented, is if a family member or friend that saw something said something. And, that's kind of cliche or whatever. I sound like I'm towing the America Company line. See something, say something. But that's really the only way that could have been prevented. One of the other things that's going on right now, that's a little bit of a debate by our lawmakers and politicians here in the States, is whether or not the brother, Johar, should be held as an enemy combatant or as just somebody who's been arrested and is, there's a case pending against him. And I believe we're doing it the right way. I don't think it's a good practice, regardless of where somebody got the idea from. You don't want to set the precedent of being charged as an American on the American soil, being charged as an enemy combatant. I just don't think that that's prudent for our country going forward. So he is being held with like a special exemption. He doesn't have to be read his Miranda rights. I agree with that, because they need to find out if there's any kind of imminent danger to other citizens here in the U.S. So that's the one kind of special, exception that's going on with this younger brother that's in the hospital right now. So that's really where we are. And if you guys want to leave me a comment, just let me know how you feel about the whole thing. If you want to talk about some issues maybe that you're having just with this whole notion, because unfortunately this is going to be how life is going forward. But let me know in the comment section what you think about the way he's being held. Should he be an enemy combatant or not? And I'll see you in the comment section. Guys, have a great Monday. Boston strong. I'll see you next time. Peace.